Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin with Elliott Wave Theory. Today we're going to be looking into the macro picture of Bitcoin and of course looking more into the detail of the more local structures and seeing what all the possibilities are that I see. So overall what we had here on much more of a macro picture on daily at the moment, we had a potential 3 up in here on the highs of February 2021. Then we would have expanded flat here with a C wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into these lows of summer, June 2021. Then we would have a potential 5-way structure into here. Again, this would be the wave 4 and this would be the wave 5. That is the main count that I have. The other scenario would be that, again, if we have this as the 3 or somewhere 3 up in here, we would have this as some kind of a 3-way structure like so, as an expander flat. Again, remember that this expander flat here reached the 2.618, which we are having as the maximum basically for any kind of structure of expanded structures. So we see that here. So we can be utilizing that exact same thing here, and we can see that we're not even too close for that. Again, on higher time frame, we are looking at the BLX here. The previous wave 1 top would be around 13.8k, so we can't go that much lower anymore from current price. Especially we can't definitely go to the 2.618 extension here on logarithmic scale. So keep that in mind while you're trying to figure out what structure and what count you would be liking to follow. But today, again, not going to go too much into this, but again, starting from these highs of 69k coming down. For that one, again, we have a few different ideas. Let's bring out the main count that I had, where we had this as an ABC here, or a WXY. Both of these are fine, and I don't really prefer either of them too much over another. This definitely has a good look in 5. However, this looks kind of wonky as a 5, so we could definitely have something like that instead, and that would be a 3, 3, and then 5. But again, this does not retrace enough for it to be a flat, so ABC it is a zigzag, or just a WXY. Either way works. Now there is a couple of different options if we are looking into this count. From here we could have this as an A, B and C into a higher time frame A wave, then this would be an A, B, C into these current lows. This is one of the potential areas that could be saying that, okay, we have completed this expanded structure here of B wave, and then now we would be seeking for this C wave here. That has the potential of bringing us back into the 30k area. This, I feel like this would need help from all the US indices, and when Dow has already extended quite a bit over the previous highs that I had. Let's check out that as well. Where's Dow? Here. Yeah. So it has already retraced, or yeah, basically extended beyond the previous highs of August with this massive move upwards. And while S&P 500 is here in comparison to Dow, where it would be around here, I don't really see it too realistic to be expecting something like that to be happening. But of course, that might be the case, but not my preference at the moment though. Of course, crypto is moving on its own as well, and as long as we don't get any ridiculously bad news for the markets, we definitely can still climb up higher. And there is definitely counts in here that are suggesting that this could be very, very impulsive structure from here. Let's check out the other ones. Other one is here, where we would have this as an ABC into an A wave, then WXY into the lows here. Now, at the moment from these highs, we have the potential of having this as a 5-way move here, ending the A wave here in these lows or these lows. Both of them are possible and valid. Then we would be looking for a B wave up higher and then another C wave down. This would be bringing us to around the 13 point something K area, and depending on how high this B wave retraces to. But yeah, that count is still expecting lower. The issue with this count, however, is that we would be getting very close to the or beyond the 1.6 minute retracement. And if we do that, then I don't think this is any more possible. If we are going beyond the 1.6 minute retracement of this A wave, as we have it here around 14.9k, then this is no longer valid. 14.3k is the max here on arithmetic scale and 14.9 on log scale. So both those I feel like are definitely the max targets here. So for this case, or for this scenario, we would need the B wave to retrace quite a bit higher for us to be having any kind of possibility for this C wave to be high enough and not to invalidate the whole idea here. Then we had, instead of the ABC zigzag coming down, we would have a WXY, XZ. Again, on its own, it's very much more rare. Using the log scale here, maybe it looks a bit better that way. Here we would have a W, X, Y, X, and Z. Three ways move into the Z wave, and in here we would have already completed this as a B, and C into these lows. Again, the preference here is that we have already closed it or completed it at these lows here, because if we are placing it into these lows, then we would be needing to create another structure here. And if we need to be creating another structure here, this is too big for a wave 4 of this C wave already. So it doesn't really fit into the idea of that being a wave A, B, and C. If we would have it something else, then we would most likely have this as a 1-2, 1-2 structure as well, which we have as a potential as well. So that is that case. Again, this would be expecting either that this would be a first structure of the very much more larger of a correction, or this would be the end of the whole correction. Again, these are the bullish signs. Generally, we do have that divergence between Z and Y, which is generally not really sought after, but again, that definitely can happen. These are very much more rare patterns, and I don't really have too much statistics or data about these, so that's why I'm very wary of even labeling these or hold them as a main target or main count for me. So yeah, keep your eyes on this, but again, I wouldn't wholly say that okay, the low is in, even though this one count is saying so. Then we had some impulse wave counts here, where we had again issues with the extension targets. Again, this is not invalid, but again, I have issues with this just because again, it is not really looking like a 1, 2, 3 in the fib extension targets wise. So in this one, again, we would have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking for fifth here. On arithmetic scale, we can see that, of course, 3 wave is smaller than wave 1 here. So fifth wave can't be larger than wave 3 here. But again, as we see here, this drop was 30k, and we can't go even to that less than 30k from here. So we can't basically invalidate saying that third wave is smallest. If we are using the log scale, we can see that third is larger here, because again, these are percentage-based drops. And at that point, again, we would be using this more as is. As we did not have any kind of extension here, and wave 3 is still not hitting the targets even with log scale, we could be expecting an extension here on fifth wave. So with that in mind, we have few different ideas here. One of them is saying that we would have this as a wave 1 here, 2. You can read all the prints here as well if you want to. We were discussing those about previous videos. But the idea is that we had a 5-way structure into wave 1, then 3 ways into wave 2, and then potential wave 1, either ending at these lows that we had around November 10th, or the lows of November 21st. So both of those are still possible. Again, idea would be that we would be looking for that wave 2 of this minuet count, and then look for lower prices. Again, on higher time frame, targets for this wave 1, 2, depending on where, of course, pivots. I'm using the golden pocket as it is most common one. We would be getting to the 11.3k area with no more extensions, and 9.2k as the 2.236. This would also get us to the 2.2 618 extension of this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So around most likely the 3.236, which would be around 7k. This is again the most bearish scenario I have at the moment. And at this case, I don't see us having this scenario as the ABC scenario, right? But again, at that point, I would have the fifth wave here, and this would be correcting something much more larger, and this would be just the first wave structure of a correction. Then we would be doing something like this and another one, and this would be again multi-year correction overall, and this is definitely the most bearish scenario out there. But yeah, still possible. Got some issues, but that's that. Then we had the other scenario, which is not that more bearish, or not that bearish at all, where we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whole thing would be ended at these lows. Again, not really likely wave 3 is so small in here in this case, and wave 5 here is not even comparable to wave 1 at all. Not really my favorite by any kind of margin, but again, this is possible. Yeah, it's possible. Not very anything else I can say. This is the second count that had the bottom in here, or I say a bottom, because again, this would be first 5 waves, and then we would be getting that B wave of a zigzag, and then again new lows downwards later on in the next years. But those are the scenarios on higher time frame I'm watching. Of course, there are other scenarios out there as well, but I don't think those are very much more worthy of a mention here. I think I'm going to be diving into the smaller time frame structures tomorrow on Bitcoin, as this has already taken quite a while to go through all of these. So I think that is going to do it for this video. If you made it this far into the video again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now I thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.